This is the goal seek scenario. Make sure you put your name into the top. We're going to enter formulas in Excel, use the goal seek function, and then use that goal seek function to solve applications. So our learning outcomes we will solve Excel problems with multiple entries, use the goal seek function to solve one equation algebra, and then solve applications using goal seek. The usual way formulas are used is that all the pieces of information in the formula are given except one. By substituting the known pieces of information into the formula, the missing value can be found using the two properties of equality. Excel is good at taking that data and calculating the results. Sometimes the formula is solved for a different letter than we want. Suppose instead of having length and width given, we had the length and area given and wanted to find the width. We can use goal seek to find that answer. Goal seek is useful for many applications where we have one variable algebra. In lesson 2.2, we learned about formulas. In this exercise, we will enter formulas and then use Excel to calculate the solutions. Let's look at this first one. The formula for area is length times width. The area of a rectangle is the product of the length and the width. In this exercise, we will use Excel to find the area of rectangles. In the first rectangle, it is 7 feet long and 6 feet wide. So we could type equals 7 times 6. Remember, equals is how Excel turns its calculator mode on. But instead, we're going to click on the cell addresses and use it that way. The reason we still get 42, which is 7 times 6, but the reason we do that is when we go to the lower right-hand corner and the plus sign and the white cross changes to a plus sign, we can drag it down and get all of those answers at one time. A more difficult formula is the one for finding the volume of a cylinder. How do we do that? Well, it says we can take the volume is pi times the radius squared times height. To get pi, Excel has a pi function, pi, open parentheses, close parentheses. Oops. Then take it times the radius to the second. So that's shift 6 plus, no, not plus, times the height. And we get 924. Drag that down and notice all the points that we get. Let's look at the next one. In this case, we're going to use the same process. Suppose we know the area now this time is 32. We also know the length to be 8 feet. So let's just fill in the length as 8 feet. Goal seek works like algebra. In this example, the area is the set cell. The to value is what you want the area to be, 27. By changing cell is the algebraic unknown. So enter the labels L, W, and A. Enter the Excel formula for area, length times width in the brown cells, just like you did in E50. And then click on the buttons, data. Oh, so we have to enter the area, equals length times width. Okay, right now it's 0 because we haven't entered any value for width yet. Data, what if analysis, goal seek, and let's match up what it has there, E87 to 32 by changing D87. And if you notice, Excel quickly calculates that the value is 4. So we can use Excel to solve linear equations. Just like in Unit 2, Lesson 1, we follow the steps. The blue cells are where we want the values to be located. The purple cells are where we type the formulas. And just a second here. The purple cells are where we type the formulas, and they are also called the set cells. And the bottom row is, the top row is the left side, the bottom row is the right side. The yellow cell is the variable that we want to solve for. So first of all, we enter the coefficients, 5, -7, 2, 2, -1. And then we enter the equations, equals the 5 times the yellow box, because that will have our R value, add the -7, and then we take, for the second one, remember, you always have to enter a formula in the purple cells. The 2 times the R value, and then add the -1. Now it starts out telling us that the difference, this first row, the left side, minus the right side, it starts out telling us it's 6. But according to our what-if analysis, it says we want that G102 to be 0. We want the left side and the right side to be equal, to have no difference between them. So we're going to change C102 to obtain that correct value. And if you notice, it tells us that R is 2. On the next one, we put in the coefficients 2, -6, 4, -5, and then the formulas, equals the 2 times parentheses. You have to put a times sign in Excel, otherwise it won't get the right value between that and the parentheses, times the K value, add the -6. On the other side, it's going to be the 4 minus parentheses, the K value, plus the -5. Close parentheses. And now our difference is the left side minus the right side. So we're going to use what-if analysis, goal seek, set Q102 to 0 by changing M102. And it tells us that K is 7. Last one, 3, -2, 7 is the left side, -2, -3, -1 is the right side. Okay. So the formula is the -3 value times parentheses, -2 times the C value, plus the 7, close parentheses. The right side is the -2 times the C plus the -3 plus the -1 times the C value. And now when we use our left side minus right side, it says it's -18 because it hasn't calculated it yet. What if analysis, goal seek, and we're going to set AC102 to 0 by changing X102, and it tells us that it is 2. We forgot to put in that K was 7. Now we got all the points. Okay, let's keep on going. We can also use goal seek to solve applications. Let's look here at these applications. Oops. And see if we can get them right. Jen Zong has these grades on her 4 tests: 97 on the first test, 64 on the second test, 98 on the third test, 73 on the fourth test, What is the grade that she needs on the fifth test in order to get an average of 90%? The most common thing people do wrong is they put 90 into the purple box, but remember, that has to be a formula. Excel is actually able to calculate average with just typing in the word average and then telling it which numbers to find the average of. Now, right now it says her average is 83, but she hasn't taken test 5 yet. So she's going to have to get a higher score than 83 to get a 90. Let's see how high it needs to be. What if analysis, goal seek, and we're going to set H 128 to value 90 by changing C 128 and 118. If you notice, it took Excel to get that value, and sometimes it does take a while for Excel to figure out what the right answer is. What it does is it goes through all different iterations that are possible to find that value. The doctor told Jeff Adkins that he had to lose weight so that his BMI would be 26.8. He is 66 inches tall. To the nearest pound, what amount should he weigh so that he has that BMI? Well, he can't do anything about his height, so that is set at 66 inches. The formula for BMI is 703 times the weight cell, divided by the height squared to the second. Right now it's 0 because his weight is 0. But we want his weight to be his BMI to be 26.8 by changing his weight, which is C147. And when we do, his weight comes out to be 166 pounds. And that takes care of all of the answers, and you can now see what the Excel goal seek solution is.